For years, die-hard goth fans have longed for the next generation of artists to celebrate. And with Britain's latest export, Editors, it's hail the boys from Birmingham as carrying the torch lit by The Cure in the 80s.
Our influences, like, I wouldn't say they were musical or bands or anything like that. I think it's more of our surroundings probably had a bigger influence on us than any other band would, and the feelings that we were having at the time. You know, we were living in a concrete city, and you know, it was we were going through hardships and not having the best of times. So it sounds like a sob story.
Sob story or not, the challenges of four roommates trying to make it while paying the rent helped fuel their dark sound. Working
day jobs in the day and then working on the band in the evening, so it's kind of like combining two jobs. You know, that whole period of time was quite hard, and I think that's where the darkness on the record comes from.
Eager to hit it big, the band knew they needed a label, but Editors were not willing to sell their souls for success.
We always thought that we'd get a record deal at some point, but that went on for longer than we'd hoped for, you know.
A lot of the people in there can't be trusted, sort of like, you know, especially in the sort of the bigger labels. You know, you've got to be just a bit wary of it. There's a lot of bull around. It was very clear who was the most passionate about the band, who shared our ideals, and as a guy called Keith, who runs a label called Kitchenware. He was one of the people that had stayed on board throughout that whole 2-year period. So it was an easy decision to make.
With the label in tow, Editors released their doom and gloom onto the UK with a string of hit singles, followed by their debut album, The Back Room.
You know, we've been touring in the UK for over a year now. So obviously people know our songs, people are singing the words back at you, and which is incredible back home.
Knowing how their video for Munich would be introducing the band to the US, they looked for a strong visual direction.
The thing with our music videos is, if it was left to us to come up with the idea, they'd all be That's why you have directors that come in with ideas. The guy Mark Thomas at the Soup Collective who came up with the idea is a kind of a maverick, a real kind of, I guess, a little genius, really.
Shooting videos aren't the most glamorous of things. It's always something that you'd expect to be really great, but it's very long days, isn't it? So I remember I had to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and didn't do anything until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is pretty annoying. When you get called, you've got to do your performance.
By 2006, the band's first album reached platinum and #2 on the UK charts. But Editors were not about to settle on their success in ye olde England. For them, the real challenge was across the pond.
Here in the States, we're just about to start our first official major tour.
Give it up, please, for Editors!
So, with the record not being out here, there's less of awareness for us now.
Kiss me awake, but I don't mind.
For Editors, coming to the United States means continuing to tour with no end in sight.
I'm sure we're spending a lot of time in America, which is good, you know. America's a very important place and we'd love to be successful here. We're very aware that we're still trying to win over a new audience. They've never seen us play live before. You know, playing live is one of our, you know, the biggest strengths of what we do. You know, when we're on stage, we feel that's kind of the ultimate expression of our music. It's very passionate and intense, and we love doing it. That's why we're in a band.